things that I really have to tell you is that your punctuality and congeniality were just absolutely outstanding. And you know, I have traveled with over 8,000 people in 16 years. And I will say this, I have been blessed, I think, because I have never really run into somebody, you know, we all have our idiosyncrasies. I mean, we're all different, for goodness sake, but I've really never run into somebody who has been a major problem on a tour, with one exception. Asks her this question. I'm standing about 10 feet away. I can hear this. Can you tell me, young lady, why are the fjords so deep when there's so few people here? My eyes are riveted to my folders, and I'm glad she's answering this one. She's a very quick-witted young thing. She leans across the counter, looks this guy in the eye, and just as serious as he was, she says to him, because the taxes are so high. Back goes the ivory cat. He's scratching his head, doesn't want to be insulted or confused by her answer. And he looks at me and says, that doesn't make any sense. What does she say? Neither does your question, buddy. Guy turns around, walks away, totally bewildered by the whole experience. She comes over to me, she says, Charlie? I said, yes, Ellie. She says, where do you find these people? We finish the tour in Bergen at the farewell cocktail party. The invisible man who has not said 2 words to me during the whole 2 weeks comes up to me at the cocktail party and said, would it be possible to speak to you in private? I think here comes the hammer. Not only does he not take me into a corner of the room where we're having cocktails, he grabs me by the arm outside down the hallway. He finds a room that's empty, goes in there, closes the door. I think, he's going to shoot me. He closes the door, looks over his shoulder, and he says, thanks, I've been trying to do that for 38 years. And the teeth never ever did show up. Unbelievable. And I'm telling you, if I worked this job for another 1,000,000 years, I think that that tour will stick in my mind. And there's one other here that, and I am a romantic, hopeless romantic, believe me. And I was doing a tour in northern France one year, and I was a young couple from Missouri traveling with the wife's father. He had lost his wife at a very early age to that nasty thing we call cancer. And he was on a trip with his daughter and son-in-law. And on that particular tour, there were, oh gosh, 5 or 6 women traveling alone. And it's a 2-week tour, and along about, I don't know, probably the 3rd day or something like that, I noticed one of these ladies, singles ladies, was having lunch with the 3. I thought, that's nice, that's good to see. So anyway, you know, I'm watching all the time what's going on, you know that, okay. So a couple days later, after dinner one night in the hotel, I happened to be following 4 of them out of the dining room. And in front of me is the young man and his wife, and in front of them is the wife's father, hand in hand with his lady friend. And I stick my mouth in her ear and I say, do I detect a romance blossoming here? She says, I sure hope so. 6 months later, I got a wedding invitation. Couldn't make the wedding, but yeah, that was, oh boy. You know, I'm a sucker for love. I mean, when you watch love happen right before you, man, whoo, there's nothing greater than that. Anyway, enough of that stuff. We are getting into the last bit of scenery here. At least I think it's the last bit of scenery. It's called the Virgin River Gorge. And this is really amazing. I mean, this highway was completed in 1973. So that was a number of years ago. And an amazing task. Wait till you see what the engineers had to deal with here as far as getting through the gorge. But the cost of it, phenomenal. Now we need to think in terms of the US dollar in 1973.
I've seen them all there, yeah.
Okay, so take a look at this abrupt change in the landscape. We're